The members of the Legion of Freedom of Russia exploded on the mine during the evacuation of the wounded. The Russian soldiers who were driving their cars at the very last moment destroyed the Ukrainian FPV drone with a shotgun. It seemed that the drone would soon hit them. However, the soldiers showed vigilance and managed to react in time. The Ukrainian BPLA was intercepted over the Belgorod region with the help of the interceptor drone Yolka. Yolka is a relatively inexpensive and highly effective drone designed to counter the enemy BPLA Kharkov region. The Russian FPV drone was conducting reconnaissance along the road when it detected the Ukrainian pickup of supplies. The drone immediately headed for the target and began a long pursuit. After a while, the UAV successfully hit the car. The footage indicates that the Russian drones operate deep in the Kharkiv region, trying to avoid harm to civilians. FPV. The drone hit the Ukrainian APCY-PR 765 in the Yegorovka region in the Orikov direction. The car was already left after the previous hit, and the drone hit it from above, finally failing. The Ukrainian serviceman was outside his trench when the Russian FPV drone made a direct hit, and everything ended in a matter of seconds. It remains unclear whether this was the result of carelessness or the manifestation of the realities of modern war. The footage shows the work of the BPLA crews, the unstoppable brigade of the Siberian Union, striking the infantry and strengthening the enemy in the army's advance zone. The Russian operators first used BPLA-type lightning to destroy the enemy trenches, then used small strike drones to hit the personnel in the open without cover. This tactic showed high efficiency during the operation. The Russian servicemen suddenly attacked the Ukrainian pickup, in whose body were 3 Ukrainian soldiers. Due to the dirty terrain, the car was moving slowly, and in such a situation, the servicemen did not have time to react, which led to a direct hit. Another video demonstrates the tense moments when a Russian FPV drone pursues a Ukrainian serviceman on a road covered with anti-drone nets. The serviceman was moving on a quad bike, which led to a high-speed chase, but in the end he could not escape. On the same road, a motorcycle transporting supplies also became the target of the strike. Seeing the approaching drone, the serviceman left the transport and hid. The FPV drone hit the van. Fortunately, the servicemen were outside the car. Despite the anti-drone nets installed over the road, they did not create a significant obstacle. Another quad bike was hit. When 3 servicemen noticed the approaching drone, they left the transport and ran toward the forest. The armored vehicle was destroyed by 2 FPV drones. Most likely, the vehicle was abandoned after the first hit. The quad bike had also been hit earlier. These are extremely alarming scenes showing the moment when an FPV drone pursues a Ukrainian pickup carrying supplies. One serviceman was in the back, and the driver stopped the vehicle, trying to leave it and avoid the strike. However, the serviceman sitting on top received a direct hit from the drone. Later, a second drone arrived when the vehicle was already on fire. Then the drone moved forward and noticed 2 quad bikes trying to hide after the previous attack, and struck one of them. In just one day, the enemy's intensive movement was disrupted. In the Zaporizhia direction, the calculations of the Lancet armor-piercing ammunition of the 58th Army of the Dnieper Air Force destroyed several enemy artillery systems. The strikes were carried out with precise coordination and accurate aiming, which led to the effective neutralization of the artillery positions. With the use of the FAP air bomb, two WSU warehouses were destroyed, where the NTRK complexes and unmanned aerial vehicles were stored. The strike was carried out with high accuracy, which led to the complete destruction of both warehouses. Russian operators destroyed several Ukrainian BMPs, BBMs, and light vehicles. First, the FPV drone hit a light vehicle, then strikes were made on the BMP and the armored vehicle BBM. By that time, both had already been left by their crews. After that, in subsequent attacks, two more light armored vehicles were destroyed. The footage shows how the FPV units of the northern group hit the WSU in the Sumy and Kharkiv regions. As the Russian drone approached, the enemy servicemen apparently panicked and fell to the ground a moment before the strike. Another serviceman was lying on the ground, apparently believing that by staying still he could avoid the FPV strike. During the night operation, the Russian drone found two servicemen on the road. When they realized that the drone was approaching, they tried to move quickly to avoid the strike. However, one of them was still hit. In the Sumy direction, the Russian combat FPV drones continuously strike at the WSU forces in their trenches and destroy their positions. The operators of the Groza unit from the Sudza group are focused on the trenches currently being used by the Ukrainian forces, carrying out repeated drone attacks to suppress and neutralize the enemy's manpower. The Russian forces made airstrikes on the positions of the Ukrainian troops using the FAB bomb, which led to significant destruction and serious damage to their fortifications. The Ministry of Defense of Russia published several videos showing how the fighters of the South Group disrupt the attempts of the WSU rotation in the area of Konstantinovka. The footage clearly demonstrates how the enemy movement was detected in time and immediately taken under fire control. Russian operators act carefully and maintain constant monitoring of the situation. In the final episode, the heavy hexacopter AR-18 was destroyed by ramming. The published materials emphasize continuous reconnaissance and the rapid reaction of the operators during the operation. On the Dobropolsk direction, the calculation of the Lanzet Hall of the 120th Marine Division destroyed the Ukrainian T-64BV tank. The vehicle tried to hide in a camouflaged hangar, but the BPLA of the Z-16 Hall found it and gave the coordinates of the target. The Lanzet was hit accurately, and the footage of the objective control confirmed the detonation of the ammunition and the complete destruction of the tank.